What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And of course, we have the Egghead Sugo Fest just announced here on Twitter at news time. Egghead Sugo Fest on the 25th of January. We did just make the video talking about the first of these new characters being Usopp and Lilith. If you want to go check it out, go check out the video. We did a full breakdown and deep dive on this character. Seems kind of interesting, I'll say. But now we're going to talk about the other unit, which is going to be Nami and Sanji. Now, this is not the first Nami and Sanji dual unit that we've had. We did have an old free-to-play treasure map legend, not a treasure map legend, treasure map free-to-play unit, who was Nami and Sanji. So this is our second iteration, I believe, of Nami and Sanji as a dual character. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. Same as Lilith and Usopp, they do not have a premium potential ability with Final Tap Super Tandem Rush, which is an interesting call, that this badge doesn't have that at all. So getting dupes isn't a big deal unless if you really want to look at their Rumble special. So this unit is likely going to be more offensively focused, considering Usopp and Lilith was more of a utility, I wouldn't say really a utility unit, but the character wasn't really like outputting massive damage. It was kind of like giving you some interesting buffs to look out for. The captain ability was kind of interesting, and then in Pirate Rumble it was more of a utility unit, whereas you can see in Pirate Rumble this is an attacker style unit. I'm definitely expecting this character to have some kind of offensive power here, so let's see what this character does. So you can activate the Super Switch effect and change fighter characters into Super Fighter, so it's a fighter buff. Interesting. Yeah, Fighter Cerebral. The super class can be activated even as a crewmate, which is a big deal. Captain ability provides different boosts depending on who is set as the captain at the start of the quest. So very, very similar structure to Lilith and Usopp is what I'm gauging so far. Hopefully it is a good buff to fighters, because fighters desperately need some high-powered units. So let's see. So you got Dex, Quick, Fighter, Cerebral. I want to have a look at the captain ability first, right? So I'll have a look at this second. So basically, this is their dual captain, so it's hard to gauge how good this is going to be because you're going to be in the solo form for most of the time. But let's have a look at their captain first. So under all circumstances in their dual form, Dex, Quick, Fighter, Cerebral get 1.35 HP, 5.75 times attack, Dex, Quick, Recovery, Tandem matching. Tapping on this character with Recovery, Tandem, Similar Bomb, Super Bomb will boost the attack of the next final tap performed by 15%. Nothing really good. This is not that good, okay? But if Nami is the first character to start when you start the quest, she will activate an effect to boost the slot effects of Dex and Quick type Fighter Cerebral units 3 times for 5 turns, and then reduce the Super Switch gauge by 2. That's another thing we can't see, is how much their Super Switch gauge is. But this is interesting because this buff here, it needs to be a Dex and Quick type Fighter Cerebral unit. It's not Dex, Quick, Fighter Cerebral that get the buff. It needs to specifically be a green or blue Fighter Cerebral unit. So it's a very niche kind of buff, but it's a 3 times all boost for 5 turns, which is pretty cool. And then if Sanji's the one to start, you get a chain multiplier boost of 2.5 for 5 turns. So definitely, I think Sanji's going to be the better unit to start off with. It is dependent on the scenario. I mean, I guess suppose that they do give you lots of natural matching slots, which is a positive for sure. But if you get bad slots, then this effect is kind of annoying. But still, the good thing about these buffs lasting for 5 turns, we talked about it in the first video. But the fact that you can have, on a Kizuna, for example, you start on stage 1, and then that 5-turn buff will last all the way through until the final stage for 1 turn left when you reach the last stage, which is a big deal. This is a huge deal, because you can do some really cool stuff with this. I like this a lot, actually. So overall, I think this is interesting. I just don't see these abilities being that useful in the long term. There's going to be some niche scenarios where they're good, but I think generally speaking, it's not that amazing in my opinion. Let's move on to their special. So the special ability will give a paralysis to all enemies for 2 turns that ignores immunity. It's pretty good, unless if they don't provide a conditional boost, then that kind of sucks, but this could be good. Changes the left slots to tandem through block and the right slots to recovery through block. Okay, so it gives you a full border matching slots, basically, I would say. Reduces the drastically reduced effect above a certain level on all enemies by 7 turns. I'm pretty sure this just means damage threshold by 7 turns. Okay, that's good. If you have an orb boost and a chain addition, when you launch the special, applies increased damage taken status to all enemies, 2.25 for 1 turn, ignoring immunity to status effects. Very niche scenario where you get that to activate, because you need to have an orb boost and you need a chain addition. It's pretty hard to do that. Of course, if you have, one captain set as Nami, one as Sanji, and then you use the special, then it'll be fine. You got all those buffs activated. If you have an orb boost when you launch the special, you get a chain boost for 3 turns. Then after that, you'll get an orb boost for 3 turns. So basically, you can use 2 specials during the same turn, from both captains, for example. You'll get a chain buff, you'll get an orb buff, and then that could kind of work in your scenario. But then again, in order to get this, you can't use 2 specials. You literally will need both orb boost and chain addition activated at the same time. So 2 specials are not going to cut it. So yeah, I think the design-wise is a little strange. And again, no conditional boost against paralysis. Hopefully there is in their switch effect or their super class, we'll see. Their crewmate abilities, they make tandem and recovery matching. So yeah, their special ability will generate a full board of matching slots for you, which is good. And then their super class effect, after super switching to Nami and Sanji, and then you need to have 3 or more of the following characters, which is pretty harsh, needing to have any one of the Vegapunks, any one of the Straw Hats, and Jewelry Bonnie. And the effect will give buff to Super Fighter, and your orb boost can be buffed up to 2 times, and then multiplying that orb boost by 1.2. So we kind of talked about this as well. Very, very similar to Usopp and Lilith, but if you've got like a 3 times orb boost, their super class effect will multiply it by 1.2, so your 3 times orb boost can become like a 3.6, which is pretty significant. But building a team around this is kind of annoying. You can activate it as a crewmate, which is a positive, but still, needing to have 3 of these to build a team around that can be kind of annoying. The super switch will give a 30% resistance down to Cerebral and Fighter. This is actually really, really good. Reduces bind duration by 4 turns is also quite good. Extend the duration of your orb boost and chain additions by 1 turn. Okay, and then even just their base switch effect is also quite good. Getting a 15% resistance is quite strong, and then the bind removal by 1 turn is pretty good too. So I will say that it is annoying that they apply paralysis through immunity, but they don't give you a conditional boost against paralysis, unless if one of the rare recruits does it. I could definitely see that being the case. So I think this character is okay. I personally actually kind of like Usopp and Lilith a little better, but yeah, this character's like fine. Like it's not like breaking down the door of being like the best unit in the game or anything like that. Definitely far away from that. But I was just expecting something a little better. This character's like just perfectly mid in my opinion. And then before we wrap up this video, let's go ahead and talk about the Rumble special. So the Rumble special is 29 CT, so it's fine. It's about average. Gives himself a 7 attack, 7 defense, 7 crit, all for 20 seconds. Large range horizontal 4x damage and 80% chance of paralysis. Again, pretty mid. Like there's so many characters that do very similar effects to this. I'm not that surprised or not shocked. Like this is just a pretty mid unit. Unless if the Rumble ability is good, but we'll see. Rumble super special, you need to be hit by 2 specials. The buffs are a little higher. And then it's a 4.5 times damage, 90%. You can't even guarantee the paralysis, bro. Like, come on. Okay, so the Super Rumble special is terrible. Just not good. And then the Rumble ability gives fighter characters 6 HP, 6 defense. That's good. And then they give themselves level 5 attack, level 5 defense. That's also pretty good. And then whenever they deal damage up to 3 times, level 3 attack up. Whenever they receive damage, level 3 defense up. Okay, this character's, like, the Rumble ability is quite good, but this special ability is, like, kind of mediocre. Like, really, like, are you really going to run this on a fighter team over a lot of other units? I don't know, especially if you just pull this unit. The character's not going to be doing that much damage without, like, heaps of investments with level limit break posters. So I feel like this character's not going to be good until you get pretty deep in the level limit break tree. But I feel like with investments, like, if this character was level 150, like, fully maxed out, this character could be quite good on a fighter team, but it's just, are you really going to invest all of those materials to do that? Probably not, right? Yeah, I think this character's kind of underwhelming. I'm not really excited about this batch at all. I will say that, like, Lilith and Usopp definitely seem the better of the two. I feel like this character will see more play. At least just from my personal opinion, I think that this character will see more play in Rumble and in normal content. Sanji and Nami just feel like they're just kind of here to, like, pad the batch a little bit, just to add another legend in the mix, because why not? What I would, firmly suggest here is to avoid this Sugo Fest at all costs. That's my opinion on this one. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about Nami and Sanji down below in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed the video though. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.